Slide 77, Lesson 4, Demonstrative Pronouns, this, that, these, those. We're now going to have a look at some examples from Scripture. Demonstrative pronouns. First example, Zay, Sefer, Toledot, Adam. Zay, Sefer, Toledot, Adam. Toledot, Adam. By the way, this is preceded, this is a, you may not be able to see this, but that's actually two dots underneath the lamed. And that means it's a vocal shiva or a silent shiva. It's a vocal shiva because it's preceded by a long vowel. So it's tol le dot. It's a very short eh sound and then dot. And toledot means generations. Zay sefer. This is a book. Sefer. It may be translated the book, but it's this a book. Sefer Toledot Adam. This is a book of the generations of Adam, of man. This is the book of the generations of Adam, though it's literally a. Zay, Sefer Toledot Adam. So the word Zay is the masculine singular because it's a masculine singular word. So let's move on to the next one. Lo, Zay, lo or lo means not. Lo Zay hadirik velo Zay ha'ir. Lo Zay hadirik. Dirik means way. Hadirik means the way. Lo Zay hadirik means not this the way. Lo Zay hadirik, not this the way, or this is not the way. Velo zo ha'ir, and not this is the city. Okay, this is not the way, nor is this the city. Ha'ir, the city. Notice it's a holomnian, not a sigil. It's the same thing. Zay, zo, means this. Lo zay hadirik, velo zo ha'ir. So these are masculine singular and feminine singular. Okay. This is a strange one because this would normally be the word zot, but it's the word zo. It's a little bit of an exception, just to confuse things. Anyway, as long as you learn that zay and the zayin and the hay means this, can't go wrong. Lo zay hadirik velo zo ha'ir. Okay, here's another feminine singular. It's the word zot. This ha'aretz, the land. This is the land. Zot ha'aretz. So this is the feminine word for this. So we don't say zay ha'aretz, we say zot ha'aretz, because ha'aretz, the land, the word for land is feminine. When God created the heavens and the earth are masculine and the earth is feminine. That's why some people talk about Mother Earth perhaps, but God does not tell us to worship the earth. It says regarding the nations that they forgot God, they weren't thankful, and they worship creation rather than the Creator. We're not to worship the earth. We're to look after it, but not to worship it. We're to worship God the Father and His Son, the Messiah. So that word zot is the feminine singular. Let's go on to the next one. Zot hapa'am itzim ma'atzamai. Zot hapa'am itzim ma'atzamai. this, the time, bone from my bones. Okay, this is now bone of my bones. Zot hapa'am, they've translated the word for time for now as now, and that's pretty well exactly true. Hapa'am, the time, or the now. This, the now, is bone, etzim, etzimai, from my bones. Etzimai means my bones. Just putting the yod at the end of etzim makes it a plural. My bones. The mem here means from, which they've translated of. Zot hapa'am etzim me'atzimai. This is now bone of my bones. And the word zot is the feminine singular again. Next example. He, even though it's got a vav in it, it's got the hirak, so it's actually pronounced he. So we know that this is from the Torah somewhere, the first 5 books. Because elsewhere, they spell the word he with a yod here. Hey, yod, aleph. He ha-be'ir, so we know the word be'ir is a feminine noun because they've got a feminine word here. So they're literally saying she is the well, but we translate it as this. As that. He ha-be'ir asher amar Yahweh. That is the well whereof the Lord spake. Amar means speak. Have you heard of the Amorites? Well, in Hebrew it's Amori, and it means sayers. It means speakers. And God says He's not going to bring the children of Israel back out of Egypt until the sin of the Amorites is filled up. That means He's not going to bring the Israelites out of Egypt until the sin of all the sayers is filled up. And it's the same in our day, that God is going to return the lost tribes back to the land of Israel after the sin, after the sin of the sayers has been filled to the gunnels. So at the moment we've got the CNN and the BBC and everybody else, and the United Nations and all the sayers saying that Israel should give up the land and all this sort of carry on. Well, God's got other plans for Israel. He's going to build it up in the very face of the heathen. So, amar means to say. And it's a very common Hebrew word, so do learn that one. Do learn these words. They're very common words. So, that is the well whereof the Lord spake. He, translated that, literally means she. He, ha-be'ir, the well, asher, which, or whereof, in this case. Asher means which, or whereof. Amar Yahweh, said the Lord. So that's the feminine singular. Okay, next example. He, ha'ir, hagidlah. The word ir means city. Ha'ir is the city. And we know the word ir, or for city, is feminine because the adjective following it has a feminine ending. It's not hagadol, it's hagidlah. It's got that hay there. So it's ha'ir, hagidlah. The city, the great, or the great city. And the word he there means that is the city great, or literally she. So that is the great city. And it's the same word as she. Okay, just like up here. It's a feminine singular, because this word here is feminine. But it doesn't have the hay on it, but in every other way, wise it agrees with this. It agrees in gender and number but because it's a demonstrative pronoun that precedes a noun, it doesn't need to agree in definiteness. It doesn't need to have the same hey in front of it, unlike the demonstrative adjectives. So it's the same for all of these. Right, let's go on to another example. See, if you learn these words, get these words into you, you'll be doing well. Va'alei shemot. Va means and. There's almost no word that begins with a vav. There's just a couple of words that begin with vav. One of them is the word vav, which means hook. That's why the letter vav is used for the word and, because the letter vav is a hook. Vav, the word vav and the letter vav means hook, because a hook is used to attach. So it attaches different parts of the sentence together. The word and attaches things. The vav attaches. Va'alei shemot. And these are the names. These are the names. They haven't got the and there, but it's there in the Hebrew. So sometimes the translators translate things just slightly different. So you have to watch out for that. The word for name is Shem. Have you heard of the word Hashem, that name, Hashem? Well, Shem means name, and Shemot is names. It's a feminine plural. It's a regular plural ending. Va'alei shemot. Okay, last example, him. Him. That. It's literally those. It's been translated that. Him, may, mirva. May is the word for water. Mayim is the plural, and it's the most common word for water is mayim. But there is a singular version of the word mayim, which is may, which means water, whereas mayim literally means waters. By the way, that's why the heavens is called ha-shemayim. The heavens. Ha-shemayim. Shemayim just literally means that waters, because the water comes from the heavens, from the sky, from the clouds. So naturally the word for the skies is the waters. Him may miravat Kadesh. That is the water of Meribah and Kadesh. Meribah means the place of grievance, and Kadesh means place of sanctification. Kadesh. It's the last place it is. It's on Edom's border. So if you want to deal with Edom, and you have to go through the place called Kadesh or Kadesh Barnea. Kadesh is a place of holiness. The only way to defeat Edom or the New World Order or any of this stuff is through holiness. It's only when Moses' arms are lifted up does Joshua win the battle against Amalek. That means that the Torah needs to be fulfilled and done. We need to be people of His Word that do what He says by His grace, but nevertheless doing it. We need to keep His commandments. We need to keep His Sabbath on the 7th day when He rested, not the 8th day or the 5th day, but on the 7th day which He commanded. Thankfully, there is a time on the 8th day when there's new heavens and new earth, but God says keep the 7th day and keep it holy. And then, if we're beginning to keep His commandments, then if we're looking towards His Word, just like the people in the wilderness were looking towards the serpent that was lifted up on a pole, which is a picture of Yeshua as the priest. If we're looking to Him, God sees that, and we're trying to keep His commandments, then He will look after us and we'll be victorious, and Amalek won't be able to touch us. But Amalek and the bad guys are able to touch those in the camp that have sin in their life. So we need to be holy and not grieve the Spirit of God. So that word him is the masculine plural. Those. But it's been translated that just to make it sound right in English. Okay. That's all for demonstrative pronouns.